Hello everyone! Welcome aboard to Boating Nomad! Sometimes in life, success is a combination many different elements working together. And boating is no exception. A good docking is a happy conversation between the wind, the water, and your own two hands. That's why the ancient Greek philosopher Aristotle once wrote, "You cannot control the wind, but you can adjust the sails." However, in today's somewhat rushed life, some captains seem to think that they are the center of the universe, masters of all forces, rulers of every wave. Take the captain of this yacht, for example. There is absolutely no technical fault with the boat. The only fault comes from the way this guy walks towards the dock as if he wants to punch it. And as a result, it could be said that his wallet received a painful blowback. And of course, this captain, not the only one causing chaos at the dock. In this video, you will meet many captains who are even more passionate. You know, there's an unwritten rule in the boating world. Never approach a dock faster than you're willing to crash into it. If you're a newbie, let me put it simply. When you dock, the higher the speed, the higher the risk. The safe speed is the speed at which you're willing to take the consequences if things go wrong. However, I sometimes wonder, do some captains think that a dock is a straight runway? They rush in and then hope for a soft landing. Those are exactly the gentlest words that can be used to describe how this gentleman decided to bring his yacht into the port of Alicante, Spain. Or a similar incident happened to a sailboat when it docked in Sali, Croatia. I think the captain may have run the engine full throttle in reverse for this one. Some seasoned boaters have suggested it could have been a stuck throttle. But if I remember correctly, even if the throttle is faulty, you can still turn off the engine on this type of sailboat. Speaking of technical mistakes during docking, they happen more often than you might think. The common feature of these types of incidents is that the boat is almost in a state of losing control of both speed and navigation. Like the incident you are watching. It happened in Italy when the super yacht Blue Magic tried to dock at Santa Maria di Luca. A small sailboat anchored at the port was the main victim of this incident. It was almost completely damaged. There is one more thing I need to say about this incident, which is how the incident was handled after the accident. Pay attention to the actions of the crew member. He grabbed the broken mast and threw it down below in a very irresponsible manner. I mean, at least look below to see if there is anyone standing below. And if you're feeling the slightest bit humane, maybe poke your head over and see if anyone aboard the sailboat was injured in the collision. However, I didn't see a single gesture like that. And honestly, that's just sad. Back to our main story. It can be said, bringing a boat into the dock too fast is a classic mistake that not only beginners make, even experienced captains can heavy-handed in a moment of overconfidence. Therefore, never be subjective when navigating. You do not want your boat to end up looking like this. Next, we'll come to a type of incident that boaters often talk about, whiskey throttle. Basically, it's a case of the throttle being pulled up to maximum speed suddenly. The incident you're watching happened not too long ago in Key Largo, Florida. When the boat was preparing to dock, a passenger accidentally tripped over the throttle and fell. And the result is exactly what you're seeing now. The special thing is that these types of incidents don't happen just once or twice, they happen quite often. A similar incident also occurred at Folsom Lake Marina, California. The throttle is one of the sensitive parts on a boat. So if you're heading out on a cruise with family or friends, do yourself a favor. Before you even leave the dock, Remind them of the location of the throttle, and make sure they understand why it's not something to treat like a toy. Besides the clueless passengers accidentally causing whiskey throttle incidents, there is another group of people who regularly create these chaotic scenes. They are the Boneheaded Boaters, the rookies who are just starting out in the world of wind and waves.
Get you some. Look at that thing. I bet you didn't know a boat could do that. Now, you might have heard of Sea Fox. Well, that's the boat in the season. Welcome to Credit Card Cap.
I mean, imagine you are a newbie, just learned the basics of how to dock a boat yesterday. Today is your first time on a 16-feet boat. You start practicing the maneuvers clumsily with nervousness and shaking hands, and then one maneuver goes wrong. You lose control and pull the throttle all the way.
You're parked on that side of the thing, but can't get out.
Yes, it happens to everyone. You and I have both experienced those emotions. The feeling of embarrassment when having to dock in front of others, you realize you don't have the skills of a captain, you panic, and then you lose your confidence. But here's the thing I want you to remember. Docking is a long-term game. Every hit or miss is just tuition, and everyone has paid their tuition. Docking a boat is rarely quick, smooth, or perfect. The hardest part of docking is not the technique, but overcoming ego and embarrassment in front of a crowd. Take it slow, admit your confusion, don't be stubborn. If you make a mistake, do it again, try as many times as you like. It's better to dock slowly, get scratched, and learn than to let someone break an arm or fall.
Reverse.
Oh my god! He's leaning! Oh my god! No.
Okay, let's say you've now mastered all the skills to glide your boat in and out of the dock like a pro. Well, now it's time to pay attention to another external factor, which is nature. This footage was recorded at the port of Les Sablons, Saint-Malo, France. The incident occurred when a sailboat was safely anchored at the dock. But here's the catch. Saint-Malo has one of the largest tidal ranges in Europe, averaging over 10 meters. That means the water level at the dock can drop fast. As a result, this boat got its rudder stuck on the dock, and the only way to rescue it was with the help of a sledgehammer. That's why understanding the natural conditions at your dock is absolutely essential. And if the boat is unfortunately stranded at the dock, call for professional help. Don't try to DIY your way out of it and end up destroying your own engine like these guys did. Also, if at a dock where there are often big waves and strong winds, remember to anchor your boat carefully. Especially the fenders must be placed in the right position to avoid the risk of damaging the hull. Recently, I've been seeing a new trend among certain boneheaded boaters. After crashing into other boats at the dock, they took advantage of the deserted space and slip away. It's a typical hit and run. On the 10th of August, 2025, in Forked River, New Jersey, this guy drove his inflatable boat and crashed into a dock. And instead of sticking around to deal with the mess, he did what any truly responsible captain wouldn't do, hit the throttle and vanished as if nothing had happened. A similar incident took place not long before at the PGA Bridge in North Palm Beach, Florida. A different location, same storyline. All right, let's set aside these runaway captains for now, because after all, they can floor the throttle all they want, but sooner or later, the police will have their names. Back to the chaos at the docks. As I've said in previous videos, if I could, I'd never let certain people operate a boat or set foot near a boat again, because that's the best way to protect themselves and those around them. Watch this captain at Lake Norman Marina to see what I'm thinking.
He's panicking or he's drunk, one of the two.
Holy shit.
Jesus.
You've got to be kidding.
And he's gonna leave.
Anyway, there's always a big gap between what we wish and what actually happens. So protect yourself out there on the water, my friend. And if you are a newbie, remember one important thing. The hardest part of docking is not the technique, but overcoming your ego and embarrassment in front of the crowd. As long as your boat doesn't damage other boats or hurt anyone, you're fine. If you're a seasoned boater, I hope you never let your guard down in any situation, unless you want to be featured in the next episode. Hit the like button if you enjoyed this video, and don't forget to subscribe for more boneheaded moments captured. Bye.